Hey, welcome to Disability Landscape. We're here back in the library again today. My partner, Mark Knudsen, is going to tell us who our guest is.
Yeah, today, I'm really looking forward to talking to our next guest. He is involved and can answer quite a few questions of a website that is very informational for individuals with disability. I'd like to introduce you to Thabiso Rowan, who is with Disability Hub. Welcome, Thabiso.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
You want to start it off, Charlie?
Sure. First, Thabiso, give us just a general overview. What is Disability Hub?
Yeah, so the way I describe it personally, Disability Hub is a resource network. And so we have, there's a website, disabilityhubmn.org. There's also a call-in center, phone number 1-866-333-2466, excuse me. And so, we're a call-in center that helps people find resources.
Okay.
And it does a lot more of in-depth work beyond that, helping people navigate some of the different systems, including, finding cash assistance, finding housing, as persons with disabilities and their family members, finding things such as, healthcare coverage, so specializing in medical assistance, and specifically medical assistance for persons with disabilities. So people can call us to either just initially step into that world and get information, or they can, we can go more into depth. We have different programs. One of them is called a follow-along program, where we can stick with somebody throughout a certain amount of time, or just however long, that person needs assistance and advocacy, or whatever it might be, to help them find resources and to help them navigate the system. So we can go more into depth with beyond just providing information about resources.
Okay, cool. And looking at the website Disability Hub, the top menu bar, we're just going to kind of step through that a little bit. And one of the first sub-menu items is my options, but under my options, there are things about creating your best life, managing healthcare, finding and keeping housing, making smart money decisions, skills, learning new things, and making work part of your plan. So about my options, what can you, it's a lot right there, so.
Yeah, and that's a good, and there's, like you said, there's a lot there. There's so much depth to, just finding housing. For example, I can explain, my options are, what are the options that someone has to be independent and to get things that are accessible for them so that they can thrive in their communities. And so
accessible not only physically, but financially also.
Financially, exactly. And I was going to say, for example, housing, right?
Yep.
So some people can only work specific positions because of, a disability diagnosis, or they can't work at all. And so, but they, they want to be independent. And so we can help people look at how to find the resources, whether it's cash assistance, Social Security benefits, maybe emergency cases, general assistance through the state. So other programs as well that could help people, financially, so that they can get a home and look into how, get housing, or whether they need services to support that, so they can live independently, whether it's a personal care attendant or all the way to getting home delivered meals, and so many other things in between.
Right. And then and obviously with the housing part, you need a way to fund housing. So I would assume you can help individuals step through finding a job or getting training for work, and that correct?
Yeah, so being that we're a resource center or Disability Hub MN is a resource center.
Yep.
In that specific case, we help people explore options very much for finding employment. There are places such as it's called Career Force. Or workforce centers.
Workforce
the workforce
correct.
centers.
Yep.
There's different locations in workforce centers where they specialize in things such as vocational rehabilitation services, voc rehab, so you can find either funding to help get a job counselor or have access to job networks where you can find jobs and cater to your own personal needs as well. So yeah, helping people kind of get in touch with those resources and partnering with different, this term hasn't been said, but centers for independent living. And in St. Paul, there's the Metropolitan Center for Independent Living,
Correct.
which is a beautiful organization that has case managers and conducts classes for people in the disability community, not just people with disabilities, but their families, and has information and resources for this community that we call the disability community, which I work in, but I also am in a wheelchair and
Right.
Paralyzed and have a diagnosis, spinal cord injury
Same here,
that I
yep.
carry with me. So.
Yeah. Also on the site, there's a section called My Voice. It sounds like a place where you can share your story and kind of give feedback. Is this regarding the services that people have gotten through Disability Hub, or what's My Voice about?
Yeah, so I can only explain how I understand it. We have what's also called the Virtual Insight Panel, and one of my colleagues, Kelly, I don't know, she, she's behind a lot of that in the outreach piece as well, but
Okay.
also that what we're doing is collecting information and allowing people to have a voice and talk about their experiences with certain questions. So,
Okay.
so the Virtual Insight Panel, certain questions will be asked depending on your demographics.
Sure.
And then we collect your information and then actually can bring that back to the community, whether it's through, representatives or just private organizations,
Okay.
to interact with them and let them know this is what kind of people in the community are looking for. So we're hearing what people's concerns are or what their successes are. It doesn't have to just be about concerns. There's a lot of successes in our community.
right.
So we can hear about those as well. And then that helps us navigate who we are and how we provide resources, what resources are very, that people are in need of.
Well, and you
things like that.
described having successes. Those can then be incorporated in, I suppose, a way to help other clients that, I was able to do this through here. It becomes another avenue for you helping other clients.
Very much. That's a huge, working as a community. I have found that personally, as a person with a disability, I learn a lot from people who are experiencing the same things as me. And so, yeah, that's it's nice when we can hear from people in the community. Sometimes information is coming from people outside of the community
Sure.
and how they view it and how they see it, which is okay as well, but it's nice to hear it from people that are, living the experience.
Right.
Yeah. And then also, there's a section called My Tools, and underneath there, it lists 3 things, like Disability Benefits 101, Housing Benefits 101, and Minnesota Help Info. So if you could touch on, all 3 of them are meaty topics to begin with, but go ahead.
Yes, of
it's
course.
all yours.
Yeah, no, thank you. This is it's really amazing what you said, tools. My Tools is what we call it on our website, or on the Disability Hub, mn.org. But so DB 101, Disability Benefits 101, is a great tool where, oftentimes people have medical assistance, which is managed through their county, and then maybe they have what's called they're on a waiver program, like a CADI waiver. These are just terms. There's several different waivers that help provide funding for services. So maybe they have that, and then maybe they have Social Security benefits, and then maybe housing, and then maybe food assistance. And so this is a place where you can kind of look at all those different things because they're managed through different organizations. So it's all, I don't want to call it a one-stop shop, but it's a place where people who are receiving the benefits or are curious about them, instead of calling a specific organization, you can go to this website that just gives general information and start piecing together what benefits would be beneficial for you. So the Disability 101
gives
talks
you kind
about
of an overview type
things
thing.
such as Social Security benefits or medical assistance, things along the lines of services, and programs for people in the disability community, and education to cash assistance.
And then the housing benefits pretty much as it says, but feel free to break it down.
Yeah. So HB101.org, it's like separate, and we all these are kind of different organizations that partner together. And so with the housing benefits, that's specifically kind of to help people navigate housing.
The housing,
and so, there's different housing agencies in different cities, Minneapolis Public Housing, the St. Paul, Public Housing Agency and things like that have navigating those systems and those organizations as well. So kind of specializing in that field of housing, attaining housing, getting funding, or even getting a housing counselor, just someone to help you find housing. There's technical terms such as transitional housing from like a nursing facility or something like that, but also just being independent. A lot of us people with disabilities are living on our own, and maybe we need a ramp in my case, or something, some physical, but then also for people with all sorts of cognitive or whatever kind of disabilities.
Or personal care assistance, obviously.
Yes, exactly. Just a place where we can do that, and then the last one, MinnesotaHelp.info.
Yeah, I was going to just mention to you, how does Minnesota Help Info come into this?
Yeah, so that's a great website that anyone can use. It's spelled out MinnesotaHelp.info, and you can go there and search for affordable housing, accessible housing. You can search for home modification, things like that. There's just a whole list of different services and programs that are listed on that website, so you can get a listing. For example, you can type in, it says what you're looking for. You can type in affordable housing and then put in a zip code or a city or wherever you're looking, and it'll pull up the listing that it has on file of people that provide affordable housing in that area.
Oh, nice.
So it's a great resource, and it's nice when you can, you don't have to call someone and maybe wait on hold to get information. You can go there yourself. And if you need help, it's nice that there's places like Disability Hub MN that you can call and get the help as well.
Right.
So.
That's cool. Next off is the My Vault segment. Now, obviously, I'd like to go to a vault, just open it up and take all the cash I need.
Right.
But I'm not Scrooge McDuck, so that's not going to happen. Explain what the My Vault process is for the clients using Disability Hub.
Yeah, so once again, that's a tool that allows people to input information regarding maybe their income. So and it helps to know that the tool is there to help you see what benefits might be available to you, how much you might get, because a lot of what we're trying to do is plan out the things that we need to plan out so that we can just live our own life. This is a tool so that you can go live your own life and do the work you need to do, be with your family,
Right.
And so this is kind of, you don't want to be stuck in that world the whole time, but it's nice that My Vault, has like things like these estimator, calculator tools that can calculate, the potential amount of benefit, whether maybe it's cash assistance, so how much you might get based on your income, or if you're receiving other benefits, maybe it's SSI, supplemental security income, and things like that you can help go to this place, My Vault, and put in some information and get numbers, actual numbers that can help you figure out whether.
So it's kind of for financial planning then for some of the clients?
That's one way to look at it is another program we have is called Work and Benefits, and so it's how if people want to start working, how will that affect their benefits? Because things are there's income guidelines, and so in order to stick with those, you want to make sure that you're within the guidelines to continue to receive your benefits or to transition off your benefits, which is a great thing as well, if possible. It's all for purpose. So, so that's a good way to just kind of see and calculate numbers. I don't want to call it financial planning specifically because that's more of a specified area, but just planning in general of your benefits and maybe how work might affect that and what assistance you might get.
Kind of creating a profile of yourself to some extent, you could say.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
There's at least in my past history, it's always been kind of a trap going from the assistance to working, because once you fall off assistance, maybe you don't get good enough insurance coverage for your disability needs, and that it becomes a trap. So, am I better off working or am I not?
Yes.
That type of
yeah,
thing.
Exactly. And also, say you're getting Social Security disability insurance. We
Right.
call it SSDI. You can put in the numbers for that. Say you're getting, the supplemental security income, like I was saying before,
Right.
SSI. You can put in numbers for that, and then calculate maybe how much you would receive in other services, if anything at all.
Right.
So So yep, exactly. It's a way you can put in some numbers and get kind of ballpark ideas about how services could
Would
benefit.
change or affect you.
Yes, exactly.
If
Because it's
you-
it's complicated.
It is a complicated world, and it unfortunately it kind of discourages some people with disabilities from trying to re-enter the workforce.
Yeah, that's just to mention on that quickly. That's a huge part of the advocacy that is going on, the unemployment rate for persons with disabilities, and in the disability community. There's a lot of information about how low those numbers are,
Right.
and so that's a big focus. To have the resources to make things accessible, to allow people to live their fullest life.
Okay.
And then it mentions also on your website, it talks about hub partners. You partner with different companies and organizations, and how do businesses become hub partners? So if you could just talk about hub partners in general.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So I can't speak specifically towards any specific partners or anything like that.
No.
In general, yeah, we, it's nice because we have, or the Disability Hub at Men, I'll say it like that, has access to, able to view people's benefits through the state and things like that with the permission. We have legal protocol and all of that.
Right. Oh,
But yeah,
of course,
we can get information from maybe the Department of Human Services, so that we can help people navigate the system a little better.
Right.
We also have, we're promoting, people with disabilities living a good life, and so it's a good thing to be in touch with the Department of Human Services, the Minnesota Department of Health. There's also things like ADA Minnesota, which is associated with the Metropolitan Center for Independent Living, and ADA Minnesota. They specialize in all things that have to do with the Americans with Disabilities Act, and so a good resource point for people who have kind of some of the legal questions about that. And also, like I mentioned, the Centers for Independent Living, the Southeastern, SEMSO, Minnesota,
Oh, right, yeah.
Center for Independent Living, the Metropolitan Center for Independent Living. There's a whole number of them, but
Yeah, there's like 7 to 8 of them that cover the state.
Yep, exactly. So, getting in touch with different organizations like that help us work together, because it helps us to work. So partners, you can definitely go to the website. There's I know there's a section where you can contact and put it in email.
Okay.
And kind of specify if you're looking for flyers or something like that, for promotional material to promote the resources or the service to get
The
resources.
Okay.
So, outside of the Disability Hub and your day job, as you might call it, it sounds like you're a pretty busy individual with a few irons in the fire. So, tell us what's happening.
Yeah, so I've been keeping busy lately. I spend a lot of my time, focusing on some of my own hobbies and personal things. I actually finished a website today. I wrote a book this summer. So in terms of motivational energies, I always had a dream to write a book, about my experience, my life, and it's I ended up writing that book, and I'm releasing it on my birthday this year, November 11th, 2020. And so, I launched my website today, which it's tobesohappy.org, so TOBESO, tobesohappy.org. And yeah, my book will be available there, and art and things like that. And I'm an artist. I play music, and you know, we don't see too many people with disabilities in the media,
Right.
and so it's nice to be kind of shine that face, saying that hey, we all have talents, and we should all have access to living the dream that we want. So,
Right.
so that's I feel really good today. There's a lot of beautiful things. My son, his mother, and her boyfriend, they're having twins today. Is what
Wow.
is what's we're still waiting. But so I'm very excited. You know, it's just an
A
auspicious
busy day.
I'm really happy to be here with you gentlemen. Yeah,
Well,
so-
we are happy to have you.
yeah.
Now, you said an instrument, and you did not mention what instrument do you play, or do we have to guess it out of you?
Yeah, no. So I have several different musical styles I play. That I call them my 4 musical churches. You know, reggae and bluegrass. I play the banjo.
Banjo, okay.
I play the guitar. I
Okay.
play some percussion. So yeah. But
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So.
Well, maybe we'll have to have you come back then and do a one-man show
Yeah,
for
I'd love- I
Disability
would
Channel
try.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I probably enjoy it more than anyone. So.
So,
Yeah, I think with that, you know, definitely there. I know by just looking and going through Disability Hub, if you're going to do that, get a good cup of coffee or hot chocolate. Get comfortable, because I mean, you don't obviously have to take it all in, but there is a lot of information out there to digest, and definitely just dive in. And if people are overwhelmed, they can always, I would assume, contact someone at Disability Hub to help them guide them through it.
Yeah. That's the beauty, is that they can get that cup of hot chocolate and you know, and look up disabilityhubmn.org, and then if you have any questions, you can just give us a call.
Yep.
And we're there to help you walk through anything or give you any information that we have for you.
Okay. Well, great. I'm glad you were able to come out, and we had time to talk to you, and I look forward to, I would imagine we will probably see your face a few more times with your guitar and percussions and that. So
Yeah. To be so happy.org. There's me playing my guitar right there. So,
there you go. Okay. Well, great. Thank you.
thanks.
And we want to thank Thabiso Rowan for joining us today. I'm with Mark Knudsen. I'm Charlie Brose, and this has been Disability Landscape. We'll see you next time.